Hello everyone. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to follow the channel for more such contents. I also want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors gdlearn.in. You can find the link right below in the description, somewhere in the description I'll add it. And they basically specialize in instructor-led training for tech we use every day, whether it's AI, cloud, data analytics, Python, Power BI. So they have their online and offline batches. So please do check their website, and you can also contact them in their using their contact us option. And you will be basically mentored by industry pros who bring real world scenarios. And then if you've been looking for that extra push in your career to level up your skills, I would recommend definitely give them a look. And feel free to reach out to them, so that in case if you need help in any of the contents, or if you need trainings, whether it's corporate, they also provide a lot of corporate trainings as well. So in case if you need help of experts, then feel free to reach out to them. All right, let's go back to our training. Hello everyone, welcome to another session on Agentic AI. Okay, so today we will create a script that simulates the PECAR loop, which is, just to recap, which is basically perception, reasoning, action, reflection, and I mean we will use this or we will use Python functions and dictionaries basically to simulate this PECAR loop. Okay, if you are new to Python, so basically uh, just to give you a background, so we can add, or apart from the basic functions that we have in Python, so if there are also some built, or I'll not say inbuilt, so basically there are also some libraries that are publicly available which you can use, and within that library there are many classes and functions available which you can use, okay, in your coding. Okay, like for example, I'm importing I'm importing a library, import time. So this is a library which has a few functions or inbuilt functions within that particular library. Once I import it, I will be able to use these functions directly. Okay. So as we go along, we will see some other libraries as well. Okay. Now, apart from that, there is another library, typing. So from typing, I'm importing specific modules, that is dictionary, list, and any. So these are some other modules within that, that is available in typing. Okay. Now, the very first part that we will do is basically defining the tool, defining the tools, okay, or the tool definitions. So this is basically like a function. So these are, or these will be the actions the agent can take in the environment. Okay. Now, just to give you an example, so we will first define the function. So we will call it as search stock data. Okay. Now, earlier we had seen how to use a particular function. So when we are creating a function, either we can provide argument, or else we can also provide multiple arguments, the single argument or else multiple argument. There are also functions you want, even you can create without any arguments as well. Okay. So for this particular approach, or using this particular approach, we will define an argument, we will define the data type of that particular argument, and then the output of that particular function also we will define. Okay. And this is the way. So basically, first we will use a function search stock name, then symbol, the argument, and then the data type. Will define the data type. After that, we will use something like this, and dictionary, and then the output will go into this particular dictionary, and the data type of this dictionary will have string, and then it will have any. Okay. Now, apart from that, so this is how we can define if we want the input function in a certain way or with a certain data type, and then we want to define what will be the target or what will be the output. So if I want to define that, we can do that as well. Okay. Now, next, once we have done it, so now let us next, what will be like, what this function will do, so that we will define. Okay. Now, this function will basically, I mean, uh, so just to give you an explanation, so this function will fetch mock real-time stock price and volume data. Okay. And then we are providing this arguments, which is basically the stock ticker symbol. And then this return is basically a dictionary containing the stock data. Okay. Now, once we have that information, next we will just print. So currently we do not have anything which will fetch the stock data from a website or something, but yes, we will provide it manually. But yes, in real-time scenario, so you will get that information through some APIs or something. So as we go along, we will also see how to use different types of APIs and all. So earlier, if you remember in our previous session, I showed you like if you are getting an API which has a response like a nested dictionary. So in that particular scenario, how you can target a particular value with that output. So that we have already seen it. But yes, I mean, we will see other scenarios as well. Okay. So now for this, we will basically print. Okay. Now, another feature, so backslash n is basically used like if I want to print it in the next line, so I can use this backslash n. Okay. And then I use action. Okay. What is the action? I want to say like, so it's basically execution. And what it will do, it will fetch, this is all text that we are adding, fetch real-time data for now. The input parameter, we'll use the input parameter, okay, for symbol. Okay. So since we will provide the parameter name, like, it could be uh, the stock names, like the stock code names that we have. Okay. For Coal India, for Coal IND, or, even if for the so many stocks, it's just for Google, like GOG. Okay. There are so many stock codes that are available. We can use that. Okay. As symbol inputs or as function inputs. Okay. Now, okay. Next, we will do like we will simulate like I want a delay. Okay. I want a delay for some time. In real time, normally when the processing happens, by default there is a delay. But just to simulate a network delay, so what we will do, I'll add time dot sleep one. Okay. So I just wanted to introduce this so that you are aware, like in case if I want to pause it for some time, like 1 second, then this is how we can do it. Time dot sleep one. Okay. Now, next, we will add like a conditional loop. So basically, if symbol is equal to return. Okay. So I want to return something like the stock price. Okay. So I'll provide price is the key, and value I'll provide it like something 178.52. Okay. And then another key we will use volume, and the value will provide. Okay, and then we'll provide another key, date, and value will provide as what is the date? So 17. This one will have to do it in quotes. So 17, 12, 2025. Okay, so we'll provide it in this format, or else we'll do it the other way. Okay. Next, so return. This is the first condition. So next, like elif symbol is equal to some other value like TSLF, some other stock purchase like Tesla. Okay. Then return same. Okay. But price, I'll put something like, and date is fine. So this is the date. And next, in the end, like elif, and in the end, if nothing satisfies, then else return I'll give something like this. So I'll give okay, a standard message which will say is down. Okay. Now this is my function. So basically, it will search whatever stock value you are providing. It will search for that particular stock, and then it will give I mean, in terms of like what are the different values, then it will give us similarly like what are the different stocks value that we are providing. It will give us its price, volume, date, and date. Okay. Now next we'll write another function, and this function will basically uh, help us it basically will simulate the LLM summarization. Okay, like news articles or any relevant articles, and then it will provide us the details about that particular stock. Okay, so we'll create another function, summarize news. Okay, and for this we'll write ticker again, set a type string, and then I'll create another variable or another argument, news underscore text. This is also string. Okay, and then the output basically will I'll just use the output as string. Okay. Now once I do that, next I'll just print out the details of that particular I mean, I'll print out the details. So for example, so I'll print, sorry, okay, action is executing tool, sorry, summarizing news for ticker. Okay, and then just to make it appear it's processing, So I'll add something like this. Okay. Now, this is my print. Then I also want to create a variable, okay, which will just help me summarize. Okay, it will just help me summarize. Like for example, so I'll create a variable called summary. This will be like I will use formatting and summary for ticker, and then we'll add some text like okay, some text. Now, how to get these texts and all? So this, once we go into LLM, then we will understand like how to drive these details. Okay. Now, next, we'll use return summary. Okay. Now, next, we will set up the agent. Okay, so these are two functions that we have defined. So our next is setting up the agent. So the first step that we did as per the PECAR loop is tool definition. Okay, or what we call it as perception. Okay. Next is the reasoning part. Okay, where we are basically uh, uh, we are setting up the agent architecture, okay, the state and memory. Okay, now to do that, so here I'll create something agent. We'll create a list. Within that list, basically, you'll store the dictionary. Okay, and then we will, I mean, we will store everything in a blank dictionary. Okay, so what happens here? So basically, the agent's current state and a simple memory list we've created, and then we are storing everything using Python list dictionary. Okay. Next is we'll create another function. Okay, we'll create another function, and in this function, we'll call it as record record thought. Okay. Now we'll define the data type and I mean, sorry, define the arguments. So thought is one argument, and then status another argument, which is has data type str. And if I want to set a default value, I can set something like this. I can pass equal to and pointer. Okay, so it will explore. Okay, so this next, what this particular function will do is basically this will record the agent's internal monologue into memory. Okay. Okay. And yeah, so this is how it will do. So I'll use a variable memory underscore entry. And here we will add we will create another dictionary. Okay. So basically we'll set up like we'll add step as our key, and then the length, okay, the length of the variable that we have created earlier, agent memory. So that length we will store. Okay, so len of agent memory, and then we'll increase it by one. Okay, and next we'll create another key. So type thought. Okay, and then another key. Maybe use small caps. Content. Content will be, I'll pass in the value like, since I've used thought earlier, okay, I can pass in thought. So content, I'll use thought. And finally, I'll create another key status. Okay. And the value will pass this status. Okay. So normally, like if I want to pass the key value, okay, if I want to pass the key value, I can also pass it through this approach as well. Okay. So here, rather than using thoughts, just to differentiate this, I'm using caps. Okay. Now, next, I want the my whatever new values are coming in, I want the values to keep appending to the existing list. Okay. So to do that, so if some new values are coming in, I want to keep appending. So I will use agent memory dot append, and then since I'll have new values, I'll append to the agent memory. So I want it to act as a loop. So I will append again agent memory. Okay. I just want to fix agent memory dot append agent memory. Okay. Now, finally, I want to print the entire thing. So print add a pipe memory entry. From memory entry, I want to extract the step, and then finally, I want and then here itself, I also want to display the status. So status, I want to keep it as a key and I mean, this is I want to display. So as if as a dictionary, and then I also want to bring in thought. Okay. Now, okay. Next. Okay. Next, we'll create another function. We'll call it as record tool result. Okay, so this particular function records the outcome of a tool execution into the memory entry, the variable that you have created, right? So sorry, agent memory, the variable that we have created. So it will record that in the agent memory. Okay, so now to do that, so again, function record underscore result, and then we will create result. Okay. Now, again, we will use something similar. Okay, so memory step, again we'll use step len agent memory plus one type. I'll use earlier we used, so that particular uh, um, a function. Here in the type we use thought because that was basically using for thought. So this one is basically tool result. So we'll use tool result. Okay. And then content here is basically thought. Sorry, tool, sorry, result. I'll use result. And then for status, I'll use something like static value. Okay. Success. Okay. Now, next again, we'll use same agent memory, and then we'll append agent memory, append agent memory. Okay. And finally, we will print out, but this time we'll print out the result. Okay. So we'll use print result. Print result memory step. Now this time we'll not get step, we'll get result. Okay, so we'll use get result. Okay, so we'll use it like a dictionary, and then we'll use something like this. Result dot get. Okay, so we will use like a loop. Okay, so within this we will extract the price. Then again we will use in case there is an error. So we have to also address that. So result dot get. So within that loop, so we will use error. Okay, and then we add another value just to appear it like the three dots. So here we will add the three dots to make it appear like it's thinking. And yeah, so that's it. So let me see the syntax. Syntax looks okay. Yeah, syntax looks okay. So that's fine. Okay, now these are the this particular step is the architecture step or state and memory step. Okay, now let's look at how we uh, use the PECAR loop simulation. Okay, now to do that, so basically first we'll define another function, financial analyst agent. Now we'll use goal. Okay, string, and then ticker is again a string. Okay. Next, we will just simulate the end-to-end agent workflow that we have created earlier. So we will just simulate that. Okay. So first, we'll just go ahead and print something like a message, um, just to come to the next line. Financial in starting. Okay, so just to give the user an information, so mentioning that financial user starting, and then we also want to define, like, we want to showcase what is the goal, right? So I will use that. So print, so goal, and I also want to print the ticker. So for the dot the ticker. So one second, what is it we have defined? Please. Ticket. Okay. Okay. So goal and ticker. Okay. Now, so just to define our function, which will simulate the end-to-end agent workflow. Okay. Now, next, what you have to do, the first step. Okay, the initial step. Okay. So number one, I'll say as comment. So as per the PECAR loop, so perception. Okay. So this is where the agent perceives the goal and the ticker symbol. Okay. Or the ticker code. So record. So we'll create record thought. So if you remember, we had created this record thought function, record thought, and this we will pass. Um, uh, we will pass our values. So first value we'll pass is received code, and target ticker is. So we'll define. I'm just adding some text. Target ticker. Okay, and then we'll also provide another variable status, since it already has another variable called status, right? Um, Ticker, and yeah, and so we'll provide the status as well. So which is by default it will take ponder, but yes, if I want to change it, I can change it this way. So I'll provide, so status is equal to, I'll provide full set. Okay. Now this will be my first step. Okay. My first function will be executed. Okay. Next, uh, so next, reasoning and action. Okay. So this will be my second step. Okay. So it will be reasoning and action. So it will be record thought. So here I'll pass some text like, real-time data, and I must call the search. Okay, and here we'll provide the status is equal to. Okay, so this is where the planning part goes in. So reasoning and action. So record thought, planning. Okay, now um, okay. So here itself we will create some more variables. Okay, like for example, stock underscore data using some functions. Search stock data, and here we'll provide the ticker. Okay, and then we will use record tool result, and here we'll provide stock data, a variable that we have created. Okay. There we go. And okay, so step one, perception, and this is basically step two. So I'll add this step two and call it as reasoning and action. Okay. Now the next step, third step is reflection, right? Reflection. So here basically we'll use a loop. So if error in stock data, okay, so then we have to provide a condition. So record thought tool field. Okay, and then we'll provide like which particular tool field. So we'll provide something like within the stock data we have created a loop for error, right? So if you remember, under the stock